Hey, lovelies, and welcome to my creative meditation for today. This is the last gate of this current year, which is gate 60, which is kind of an interesting one to end the year of, this notion of limitation. Or as Kim Gold, one of my favorite human design people say, guardrails. And we're going to play with this idea of working within certain boundaries, certain limitations, or really seeing how much can we actually move with the guardrails that we are given in our human experience. So the creative meditations are a lovely way of connecting in with the energies of particular centers, of particular gates. And as part of my own offering, with a background in art therapy, I work with people to draw their human design charts. So seeing how their own unique expression of a particular center, of the movement of energy through centers around the bodies, how that actually is expressed for you individually. And that works really well to show people a different perspective. I'm peripheral view, so I really like to see a number of different perspectives on charts, not just what we think about the charts, not just the information that we've gathered about the charts, and not just our life experience of those aspects of our chart, but actually bringing those experiences into the felt sense. And when I talk about felt sense, what I mean is the sensations and the senses in our own bodies as a language or a way of creating a dialogue with ourselves about how we're moving through life. And I also have creative meditations on a weekly basis whereby I do meditations on the transits, and we come together in community and we draw our particular expression of what those transits are feeling like from our perspective. So I guide you gently with some encouragement, like I'll be doing today. And we really navigate those transits and how we are experiencing them from our perspective. So let's get started. All you need today is a piece of paper, which I have here, and I just have a coloring pencil. You can use anything, markers, highlighter pens, Sharpies, whatever it is that you want to use today. But I just pulled out this color because I'm attracted to it today for some reason. And so I'm going to use a pencil. And I'll start with a short meditation for about 5-10 minutes. And then I will guide you through a creative meditation where I simply give you some suggested marks to make. And from there, we move in, we tune in, and we go with whatever it is that we're feeling in this particular moment. So let's get going. So in starting with the meditation, I want you to get comfy. Do have your art materials nearby because we'll be moving straight into drawing after that. But what I want you to do first is just notice. So we'll start with noticing our breath. And just noticing, what are you sensing and feeling today through the breath? Are you feeling this gentle rise and fall of your shoulders? The expansion and contraction of the chest? The inward or outward movement of the belly? Perhaps your attention isn't anywhere near your chest or lungs. Perhaps your attention is right down in the bottom of your feet. Perhaps they're cold. Perhaps they're tired after a busy day. Perhaps your attention is in the heaviness of your legs. as you finally begin to notice, despite all your thinking and doing today, you haven't really touched base within. Perhaps your attention is focused on your sit bones. You're really feeling the sit bones touching, resting on the chair, and perhaps you're really gathering up that support, enjoying that support. Perhaps that support even is moving up to the lower back, the upper back and shoulders as you rest further and further into your chair. Perhaps your attention is drawn towards your arms and even your hands that are appearing cold, perhaps even clenched around your pen or pencil already. Perhaps you're feeling sensations moving in the belly, the spleen, the heart, or the solar plexus. Just noticing your torso and what feels alive to you. Perhaps all your attention is up at your throat, the movement of cool air moving in and out through your mouth or nostrils, the air on the face, sides of your head, top of the head. Perhaps taking a full body breath. In and out as you become alive, present, and aware. And in your own time, I'd like you to open your eyes and perhaps picking up or taking your pen or pencil. And I want you to look at your page, even putting your hand over the page for a minute, feeling the coolness on your hand. And what we're going to do is start by very, very slowly drawing a square or box on our page. So this is really about feeling into this experience. So I don't want you to rush in any way, shape, or form. And if you're not sure about how to do this, just following my lead. Starting in any corner, going any direction you want. Just slowly beginning to draw the outside or the side of a box. Whenever you come to the end of one side, simply slowing, making a mark, goes perpendicular to this. And I really want you to begin to feel what it's like to draw this outside, this containment. And even begin to notice the correlation between your breath, the mark, and the page. Whenever you're complete, perhaps sitting for a moment, taking this box or container in. And I'd like you to repeat this exercise, creating another container within the existing one. And this time, really connecting the breath. So as you breathe in, you place your pen on the page. And as you breathe out, beginning to make this mark. And perhaps the mark will be completed by the end of the breath. Or perhaps you'll be starting another breath. But whenever you're ready for the next side, taking a breath in and drawing this mark, this line, this page. And continuing again. Following breath, following mark, following movement. And again, in your own time, creating this again. Mark, breath, movement. And in this, begin to notice what, if any, sensations begin to emerge within the body. What is your felt sense now? It's really interesting. I'm feeling this tightness in my chest. Perhaps a reaction to the angles, sharpness, the lines, perhaps the containment. If you want, you can simply continue to draw container after container after container. Or if you'd like, I'd like you to begin to play with these containers. Perhaps making simple marks or gestures, thinking about how can I create a relationship between these containers. And don't overthink this. Whatever mark comes to mind, whatever emerges, we're not drawing anything here. We've got nothing to achieve here. Just making marks on a page, drawing gestures, what feels good and what feels right. And even when you've done one container, perhaps thinking about how you might relate one container to another. Perhaps you continue with a particular line. Perhaps you continue with particular color. Perhaps you're really struggling to find any connection at all. I really want you to begin to play with this, just exploring through mark making, through breath, what might be possible, what connections might exist between the different containers and the marks that can be made. With gate 60, we're really thinking about these limitations that we have. Human beings, bodies in a physical form. We have cycles of life and death. We have aging. We have birthing. We are governed by the forces of nature. We have limitations on our guardrails. For how we can live in this life. So this creative meditation is really looking at these gates that we have in human design and really playing with how they feel in our bodies, how the transits move through, how they impact us, or we don't notice any difference at all. In my last creative meditation, I did gate 61, and for me, the really visceral feeling that emerges when the truth comes, the silence drops. Really paying attention to this, noticing how it feels. Just playing with them. What limitations feel right? What limitations are you struggling with at the moment? There are particular things you need to face and become aware of. Are you ignoring certain limitations? And how can you use or allow these limitations to teach you? Perhaps even show you a new direction or a path forward. Really playing with this as we breathe, make marks, create gestures and movements with our body. Take in, witness what we're creating. And breathing. And recognizing you can still be in your life and witnessing yourself at the same time. So perhaps finding a way in your own time of bringing this exercise to a close. What relationships have existed or have been formed between the limitations that you've put out for yourself today? What connections exist? Did you find that enjoyable or difficult? Did you feel constrained? Or was there something liberating about working within a framework, working within these guardrails that we had for ourselves? Looking at what you've drawn today and asking yourself the simple question, what do I see? And perhaps coming up with one word that summarizes your experience today. And perhaps for a moment, putting your hand on your heart, and taking a few gentle breaths, showing yourself compassion and patience and love for wherever you are with this particular energy in transit. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel. Please like or share it with others who may benefit from this unique perspective on how we navigate our human design charts, the energies that we move through on a daily basis. And for those who are perhaps caught up too much in the thinking and information of human design and not really embodying it and sensing and feeling their way through. Thank you so much. Wishing you loads of love on your journey, on your navigation through your human design experiment. Take good care. Bye.